There's one thing that is costing you years with your Gundog. It's waiting. Waiting for your dog to just grow out of it. Waiting for adolescence to pass. But that ain't how it works. And I'm going to show you what you're actually losing by doing that. Now, I'm assuming you've probably had somewhat of a nice puppy phase. It probably was quite a breeze. But now you've got into adolescence and you fucking hate your dog's guts. They've hit 6 to 8 months and all of a sudden they've just gone completely deaf. They're absolutely ballsy as fuck. They push every, and I mean every last button. And they even, to just, top it all off, get a second chewing phase. And not only that, they just seem to have forgotten every last command that you taught them as a puppy. How nice is that? And recall, that thing that you worked so very hard on, has just pissed right off. It's almost like you've got an incredibly stubborn and deaf teenager that just wants to rebel against absolutely everything that you could possibly suggest. You're literally living with a real life Kevin.
He's become a teenager.
Kevin?
What?
But here's the myth that everyone believes. People think that adolescence is just a free pass, like your dog's going to transition into this specific life stage, and for some reason we seem to think, oh well, that's a perfect opportunity for us to just take our foot off the gas. And the common thing that I see people say when it comes to this is simply saying they'll grow out of it. It's just a phase. Or even just wait until they're older. So, because they believe that, they just do nothing. I've seen it time and time again where I'll either go into, say, a Facebook group or maybe even just a couple of posts on Instagram or something like that, and people are genuinely giving this advice of, oh, they'll just grow out of it, it's fine, don't worry about it, when realistically they're not. Adolescence is actually quite a big portion of your dog's life, meaning if we don't do anything about it now, whatever it is that they're doing that's made you come to this conclusion, it's probably going to stick around for quite some time. And unfortunately, you've lost however long you've spent waiting. And here is what is actually happening during adolescence. During adolescence, your dog is learning. Every behavior that you allow becomes a habit. Every behavior that you ignore is going to get reinforced. Your dog is literally wiring their brain right now. And the bad habits that you are experiencing with your dog are actually just cementing, meaning they're just going to stick around if you don't do anything about it. And the behaviors that you're experiencing aren't a jumper, they're not just going to grow out of them. This period of your dog's life is crucial because it's going to set them up for adulthood. So here's the actual cost if you just wait out these behaviors that you're experiencing with your dog. So to put it simply, if you wait, you'll end up losing years of a calm dog, years of a reliable dog, years of a dog you can actually enjoy, because by the time they are older, the habits are just locked in. And now, lucky you, you're gonna have to undo years of a learned behavior. So here is a real life example of the squiggle surf himself. When Sid was adolescent, I could have just waited. I could have let him pull on the lead, let him ignore recall, let him be reactive, and just, actively not pay an ounce of attention to me. But I didn't. I trained him through it, albeit as jarring as it was, and I did often want to smash my head against a wall, but because I stuck with it, I was patient, I was motivated, and I knew that there was a light at the end of that tunnel. It all paid off. He's now calm, reliable, and enjoyable. And I'm not having to undo all of the crap teenage years. That's the difference. So from working with hundreds of pet Gundogs, here's actually what's going to happen if you wait. And I've seen this firsthand with so many clients. So commonly they'll come to me when they're around about, say, a year and a half, because they've waited, and guess what? Still no better. So what actually has happened is the dog has gotten worse instead of getting better. The behaviors have actually escalated massively. The owners have just got way more frustrated. And by the time they've got in contact with me, it is a much bigger problem. And all because they waited for it to pass. And the funny thing is, so many people say they wish they would have started sooner. And don't be like these people and make the same mistake. Here is what you need to do instead, and that is, it's actually quite simple. I'm just going to start right now. Adolescence is the perfect time to train. You have had all the puppyhood to teach your dog the behaviors, now is the time to reinforce it. Your dog's brain is literally like a sponge. They're going to be learning things and soaking things up super quickly. So it's up to you to decide on if you want the things that are absorbed to be good or bad. And if you go down the path of reinforcing all the good stuff, it's likely that you're going to have a really well-behaved dog for potentially the next 10 years. Don't waste years of waiting. Don't even waste a few months or even weeks, because your dog just isn't going to grow out of it. Put it this way, my Sid is 8 years old, and if I'm being completely honest, he's still off his tits. He's good and well behaved, don't get me wrong, but he is absolutely off his tits, and that's a dog that is at the ripe old age of 8. So if I'd have waited, I'm pretty sure I'd have been waiting until he died. If you wait, you're only going to lose time, which our dogs unfortunately do not have a lot of time on this earth. So you've got to act now rather than wait and for it to allow it to get worse. If you do so, your future self and your dog's future self is going to thank you massively.